Hey guys, this is SpongeBob SquarePants and Veggie Tales for the win here, and welcome back to another video. Now, I don't think I usually make these type of videos, but I'm going to like make a video about my thoughts on three upcoming sequels that I heard Disney announce, because Disney announced three upcoming sequels sometime this year. And the sequels they announced are Zootopia 2, Frozen 3, and Toy Story 5. Yeah, that's right. These are those three sequels that Disney announced, and I thought I would make a video about my thoughts on Disney's announcement about these three sequels coming out. Now, to be honest, guys, I'm not a huge fan of modern Disney. I think they've gone really downhill these days. Because when I was younger, they made a lot of great movies that I remember I grew up watching from when I was a kid. But as I got older, they started to make okay-ish movies at times, and that sort of thing. But most of the time, they don't really make great movies anymore. Yeah, especially not like they used to when I was a kid. But I will admit, they did make Lightyear in 2022, and actually did enjoy that movie. That one was definitely great. I mean, despite the controversy it got with that inappropriate scene, which I definitely don't want to go into that detail, and despite the controversy it got with Chris Evans voicing Buzz Lightyear and instead of Tim Allen, I thought Lightyear was still a great movie, and I still like it. I mean, it could have been better. Honestly, I think Lightyear could have been better, but overall, I still liked it. It was a great movie. I think seems to be a spin-off to Toy Story, that sort of thing. I like the idea of a origin story of a human Buzz Lightyear. That sounds like a pretty interesting idea. But anyway, I just think Disney's gone mainly downhill these days. Yeah, and probably they probably went downhill for the most part ever since with Ralph Breaks the Internet, because that's a movie I remember I expected to be good. The sequel to Wreck-It Ralph. I remember seeing Ralph Breaks the Internet in the theaters back in 2018 because I thought it was going to be a good movie, and I used to like it when I first saw it, but after thinking about it, I think it's an okay movie. I mean, the story is okay. I mean, the idea of Ralph and Vanellope going to the internet and trying to save Vanellope's game, I mean, that could have worked. I mean, the story's just okay, though. I mean, the animation in the movie is great, but I just thought Vanellope got flanderized and the ending didn't make sense, which I don't think I'm going to say what the ending's about. I just don't want to spoil the movie for anybody who hasn't seen it, but Rough Breaks the Internet, I think it's okay. It's not bad, but not a movie I would watch again. Unlike the first Wreck-It Ralph movie, that one's great. Wreck-It Ralph is a great movie. But anyway, yeah, and plus, yeah, Disney they definitely seem to be going downhill with making live action remakes. Obviously, I didn't like the live action Pinocchio remake, and the live action Little Mermaid movie. I don't think is going to be any better. I doubt I would like that movie. But anyway, I heard Disney made Strange World, which I haven't seen that movie, but I'm most likely not going to watch it. I've heard a lot of bad things about it. I heard a lot of people didn't like it, so yeah, I'm really not interested in seeing Strange World. Like I heard there was something inappropriate about the movie that got controversy, which I don't want to go into that detail either. So yeah, but I doubt I'm gonna watch Strange World. I'm really not interested. I've heard a lot of bad things about it. But anyway, enough with that said. I'm gonna talk about my thoughts on these upcoming Disney sequels, starting with Zootopia 2. Now, to be honest, guys, I remember enjoying the first Zootopia movie. I saw it in theaters back in 2016, and I remember liking it back then. And it's still an enjoyable movie to this day. I think Zootopia is a great movie. Honestly, I like the idea where everybody's a talking animal, and I like the idea of two talking animals that go on a they're trying to solve a what I'm trying to say, they're trying to solve a case. It's a great idea for a movie, I think, and honestly, my thoughts on the Zootopia sequel, well, despite that Disney went downhill, I'm pretty excited for Zootopia 2. It sounds like a great idea. I think it could work, to be honest. A sequel to Zootopia definitely sounds interesting. I feel like it could work. As long as Disney comes up with a great enough idea story, that sort of thing, then yeah, I think it could end up becoming a great movie. Despite that, some of their sequels are okay, but not as good as the previous films. I mean, Zootopia 2 could work, but I think Disney would have to do a great enough job for the sequel to be great. Yeah, and maybe it'll even be just as great as the first movie if they come with a great story and they expand the universe similar to the universe for the Zootopia sequel, similar to how Illumination did with the Sing franchise with Sing 2. Then yeah, that'd be great if Disney were to do something like that, but where they expand the Zootopia universe with the sequel. That'd be cool. Yeah, because yeah, it'd be cool if it would be similar to like how Illumination did with the Sing movies, where in Sing 2 they expanded the Sing universe. I think yeah, by adding by putting in a town that wasn't in the first Sing movie. That's what I like. Yeah. So yeah, a sequel to Zootopia, I feel like it could work. I do want to see the sequel to Zootopia in the theaters, so I feel like that could work. Frozen Free, well, I mean, the first Frozen movie is pretty good. I remember seeing that in the theaters back in 2013. I wouldn't say it's great. I mean, most of you guys I know seem to. I mean, what I'm trying to say, most of you guys seem to love it, but the first Frozen movie, I honestly like it, but don't love it. But that's okay. We all have our own opinions. The story in Frozen is pretty good, sure. I mean, animation's good. There's some great music, though. Even though it's not a great movie, I think there's some great things about the movie Frozen. Like, Olaf is a great character, definitely my favorite Frozen character, and his song called In Summer is great, but yeah. Frozen's pretty good. I remember seeing that in the theaters back in 2013. Frozen 2, well, if you saw my After Frozen 2 video from 2019, you guys would know that I saw that movie in the theaters back in 2019, but I mean, I guess Frozen 2 is pretty good. It definitely has a weird side, like that sort of thing. Like the idea of Elsa hearing voices sounds pretty weird, but I guess it's not a bad movie. It's a pretty good sequel, I guess, but definitely not great. Yeah, Olaf is definitely the only great character in the movie, I think, though. But yeah, the story in Frozen 2, I guess, is pretty good. It's pretty bizarre, though, and the animation is pretty good, I guess. So, how I feel about Frozen 3, I mean, it could be good, but I'm honestly not sure if I'm excited for it or not. I'm not sure if a Frozen 3 is really necessary, especially with how Disney's gone downhill these days. But yeah, a Frozen 3 might actually be good. It might actually turn out well, but I'm not sure what to say. It probably wouldn't be great considering I didn't think the first two were great. So yeah, I'm not sure how good a Frozen 3 will be. I still think I'm gonna see it in the theaters anyway, though. Like, yeah, who knows? Maybe I'll end up liking it. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know what to expect about how good Frozen 3 will be, or if it'll be mediocre, or just okay, or even bad, but who knows? I'm sure I will see it in the theaters, though, anyway. Maybe it'll actually be good. I'm not sure. Toy Story 5. Well, I mean, I grew up with the Toy Story franchise as a kid. I mean, the first Toy Story movie is great. I mean, like, I do respect that it's the first animated movie to use CGI animation. Now, Toy Story is a childhood movie of mine. I grew up watching that movie as a kid, and it's still a great movie to this day. I remember having the VHS tape, and I used it to watch the movie as a kid. Like, and I still even have that VHS tape. Obviously, if you've seen at least a lot of my past videos, and I think you guys will know that I have the original 1996 VHS of Toy Story. If you guys have seen a lot of my past videos as well, I think you guys will know I also have Toy Story on both DVD and Blu-ray, obviously. But yeah, Toy Story is definitely a great classic. It has a great story. The characters in that movie are great, and the animation, I will admit, is actually great. I think it still holds up to this day. Yeah, I honestly don't mind the animation in Toy Story. It's pretty great, actually. Toy Story 2 is definitely a great sequel as well. It has a great story about how, like, some of Andy's other toys must go on an adventure to bring Woody back home before Andy comes back home from cowboy camp because Woody was stolen by Al, of course. Yeah, and obviously, yeah, I like how Woody meets the toys of Jesse and Bullseye and Stinky Pete the Prospector, and how they helped Woody learn how he had his own show, Woody's Roundup, and how it got canceled. The Woody's Roundup scenes are definitely great. Yeah, Toy Story 2 is a great classic, like definitely a childhood movie of mine. And Toy Story 3, now that is definitely a great one. I remember seeing it in the theaters in 2010 when I was younger, and it's still a great movie to this day. It's Toy Story 3 is definitely great. Like the animation's definitely great, of course, and yeah, yeah, the animation in Toy Story 2 is great as well. But yeah, the animation in Toy Story 3 is great, and the story in Toy Story 3 is great. I mean, like those other toys that were Andy's other toys in the movie. I mean, they didn't believe Woody at first um about the fact that Andy meant to put him in the attic, but at least they apologized to Woody eventually in Toy Story 3 for not believing Woody, because Woody was right in the movie. And I think it's a great story about how Andy's all grown up, and like after the Andy's toys escape from Sunnyside Daycare, that Andy was figuring out what to do with his toys, and he decides to give them to Bonnie, and the toys live happily at Bonnie's house. Yeah, that is a great ending. This honestly should have been the last Toy Story movie. This, I think, would have been a great conclusion to the Toy Story franchise. And Toy Story 4, I mean, it's okay. I mean, I did see it in theaters in 2019, and I liked it at a time, but after thinking about it, it's not as. It's definitely okay. It's definitely the weakest Toy Story movie. I will admit, the animation in Toy Story 4 is great. That's a positive. The animation's definitely great. And there are some moments I like in Toy Story 4. The beginning where, um, like Bo Peep, where it showed how they lost Bo Peep, because Woody did mention that in Toy Story 3, but we didn't know how they lost Bo Peep until we saw what happened in Toy Story 4. So the beginning scene of how they lost Bo Peep in Toy Story 4 is pretty great. And the flashbacks from Toy Story 3 are great as well, and that were in Toy Story 4, yeah. And Forky and the Duck and the Bunny, while they're okay characters, they definitely have some funny moments. I will give it that. But those are some positives. I mean, the story in the movie is just okay. I mean, it's just, I didn't like what they did to Woody in this movie, because he cared about having an owner, but then he had a rule that every toy must have an owner, but then he just left that behind by deciding no longer have an owner, that sort of thing, at the end of Toy Story 4. And same with Bo Peep. I don't like how Bo Peep was flanderized. She was mean. I do not like Bo Peep in Toy Story 4, because she isn't supposed to look like a ninja, for one. I don't really like her ninja design. And plus, the end where, yeah, her and Woody, yeah, still, like, they both have no owner, that sort of thing. Yeah, that was messed up. I did not like that. And yeah, Bo Peep I thought was too mean spirited towards Woody in this movie. So yeah, I didn't like that. So yeah, Toy Story 4, there are things I like about it and things I don't like about it. It could have been better, but it was a pretty unnecessary sequel, even though it was okay. So, Toy Story 5, would that really be good? I mean, I didn't really ask for a Toy Story 5. Like, a fourth one already seemed unnecessary, so a fifth one might actually be worse or just as okay. I don't know, honestly. I mean, Toy Story 5, maybe it'll be an improvement over the fourth, but I'm not sure what to say, because the fourth one was even though it was okay, it was pretty disappointing. But yeah, Toy Story 5, I still think I'll see that in the theaters, because maybe I'll end up liking it. I don't know. But I honestly don't know what to say about Toy Story 5. Many, like, if I was to expect to like it or not, is this might be another unnecessary Toy Story sequel. Like, similar to what you guys think of Ice Age, where a lot of you guys think they made too many Ice Age sequels. Like, this might actually become the next Ice Age for most people, where a lot of you guys think they made too many unnecessary sequels. I don't know. I don't know how Toy Story 5 will turn out. I didn't think it was necessary in the first place, but I still think I'll see it in theaters anyway, just to like to see if it's any better than the fourth movie or not. I'll see how it turns out, but yeah. So I guess these are my thoughts on these upcoming Disney sequels, and I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you all on my next video. Goodbye, everybody.